Hey everybody, I don't know why, but my regular just posting isn't working. I think because Facebook took down the ability to share directly into a Facebook group because they took down their API. Kind of lame, but you know what? I am going to figure it out, do it this way instead. So I am sharing my post right now just so everybody can see it. And now I'm going back to what I'm doing. Okay, great. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining me. I know that you could be literally doing anything else. It is late on a Tuesday, well, 4:50 my time. So you're either closing up shop, going home, or you're watching this later. But I'm glad that you're here. So I just wanted to show you, I found that today Adobe Max announced, well, Adobe announced at Adobe Max in London the new generative AI tools that are in Photoshop beta. So to make this clear, it's not in regular Photoshop yet. There is generative tools in Photoshop. Those are the cleared ones that are good to go, but they're not quite as good as the beta version. But the beta version also has bugs, which is why it's beta. So I wanted to show everyone a little bit about what this is and kind of walk you through it. So I'm actually going to start sharing my screen. There it goes. Cool. And I wanted to kind of walk you through a little bit about how to use it. But first, maybe you don't know how to get Photoshop beta. And so if you don't know how to do that, you just go up to your Creative Cloud account. And of course, it's going to bring you to this home page and just show you kind of what you already have installed. If you click apps and then you go to beta over here, so, it's going to show you all apps. And then if you click beta, you can actually see the beta versions for all of these different things. And a lot of them will have different generative AI or AI features. I'm not familiar with totally all of them quite yet, but if you want to, Illustrator beta is pretty cool, and then Photoshop beta is what I'm familiar with and what we're talking about today. So I installed this one. It's funny because I just uninstalled Photoshop beta because they had moved all the generative AI tools into regular Photoshop. So I was like, I guess I don't need beta anymore. And then, of course, today they announced that they're doing beta. So all right, so I'm in the beta account. When it opens up, this is what it looks like. You can obviously select an image and start building on top of it, but the whole point of today is, or manipulate it. That's what Photoshop is good for. But the point of today is to show you what it can do in creating complete images using just prompts. So I'm going to click new file, and then I am going to click just the default size. That's totally fine. Okay, so first I've got the selection tool selected, and I am going to select all. I just pressed Command A. So I just selected the entire canvas or artboard, whatever you would like to call it. And here at the bottom, you see it automatically came up with generative fill. So generative fill is going to bring up this place where I can write a prompt. So I'm going to write a prompt now, and I'm going to write underwater coral in Technicolor. How about, I want it to be layered. I like layered paper, and I want it to be art, and I don't want it to be realistic. Okay, so I'm gonna hit generate, and now it's gonna make 3 different versions for me to choose from. And this is just generating completely based on my prompt. Okay, so we've got, all right, so we've got this coral. That looks pretty good. Underwater coral, that one, and that one. I think I'm gonna go actually with the first one. Okay. So now what I would like to do is I would like to add some characters to this. So I'm actually going to just select a portion here and do generative fill again. And I'm going to write, make a bold, or just bold fish with white outline. I'm going to say layered paper again. I I don't know that you necessarily need to say the exact same style. It might figure that out all on its own. We can test that in a second and see if it'll actually do that. Hey, look, there's my fish. Okay, so you can kind of see with and without my fish. That's pretty cool. All right, so you might be getting a picture of how you can use this to like create sermon art, or like, I don't know, there's so many different things you could do with it. It's kind of wild, right? Like you could create like Jonah and the whale. You could create Daniel and the lion's den. Like there's so many different things that like you could really show off that is really interesting. I'm trying to think like what else we could put in our little world here. So if you're watching, feel free to comment. I would love to, have your stuff in here. So I'm gonna create a seahorse. Let's see if it takes the same layered paper look without me having to write it. Also, that's a weird size for a seahorse. I realize that now. But it's probably just going to manipulate the coral around it. That's a huge seahorse. It is going after that. But I like it. It's kind of funny. Okay, so like it generated 3 different versions. I don't know. I think I like the last version. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so you can see it is quite and it did keep the same look. So yeah, it's quite the different world that you can create. Like, it's so weird to like have only your mind being the thing that stops you from like being creative now. Like, I knew that I could be creative and like, but I still needed some kind of skill. And I guess like you still need some kind of skill with this. Prompting, I think, is a big skill, because like I'm still like at a loss, right? Like I'm like, what do I do next? And so I think it's really neat though that like we're getting this far in what we're creating. So I don't know, maybe I'll just put like some like air bubbles here. Air bubbles. Okay. And I like too that it like names and it has a mask for all of your various things. Okay, that's weird. I don't know. That didn't do a great job, but you know what? We don't have to have it. That's the best part about this, is that you can just remove it. So that's fun. Okay, let's do a different one. Okay, so new, create, and then let's select the whole thing again, and generative fill. And let's create like a Middle Eastern roadside. I have no idea what we're creating here. This could be a photo or art. I didn't specify. So let's just see what it comes up with. Okay, it came up with like actual like photography versions of this. Okay, interesting. All right, let's try this again. And then I'm going to change it to like biblical and then like art. Let's try that and see what it comes up with. Because what I would like to do is maybe create where Paul like gets his sight back or something. Or like where Paul goes blind. Okay, well this is not what I want. So as you can tell, just not there quite yet. Let's see if I add layered paper, if that helps. Like there's so many other kinds of art, obviously, besides layered paper. I just like layered paper, so lay off of me. LOL. How well does it create text, James? I don't know. We could try. Well, obviously it's trying to write me something, and on this papyrus. So I don't really know what that's about. Let's just create a whole new one. Okay. And then I'm going to select it all. And then, actually, I'm going to select a small amount, not all. Let's try to write something. I don't know that is going to do good with text. Write happy birthday. In Technicolor. Let's just, I don't know that it really will do text. I haven't seen that from Photoshop. I've seen like images. Hey, that's not too bad. I mean, birthday spelled wrong, but that's not the worst I've ever seen. Okay. Hey, birthday spelled right in that one. I mean, I don't love the color, but you can like do this adjustment thing on the side. So that's pretty cool. I don't know. Okay. Let me go back. Beep, 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 beep. I mean, it's not the best thing I've ever seen, but it's not the worst, so that's pretty good actually. Okay, let's start over. Okay. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's delete this. Okay, let's select all. Not save. Command A. Thank you. Ooh, nope. There we go. And then how about a woman riding a bike beside a man holding a sign that says no biking. I don't know. Let's just see what it does. Okay. Thanks for joining me on this random journey of generative AI. So it's not the woman riding the bike, it's a man riding a bike, and it says no bit kig. I don't know. Yeah, let's try. Yeah. You know, and these faces are bad. They're so bad. Okay, I mean, you know, let's try. Okay, let's say like comic book style. And see what it does, because that's bad. I don't know what that is, but it's not great. Okay. Well, I mean, the man is also biking, so does he really have a right to say no biking? I don't know. Okay. Well, yeah, text is bad still overall. But like, I mean, it's interesting. That's for sure. And like, could you erase this part? Yeah, I mean, you could even go in here and just be like, you know, just remove that. I don't even know. Let's see if it'll do it. Like I'm wanting it to. I don't know if it will. Nope, it did not. It did very poorly, but you know, you could clean it up yourself. The old school ways of like, you know, stamping something if you wanted. Oh, I need to rasterize it. Okay, sure. Well, you know, that's doing terribly. But as you can see, my Photoshop skills are old. So, but you get what I'm saying. What else? Anybody else got any questions? I think this is the craziest thing. Okay, let's... Alright, well, one thing else I wanted to mention is, you know, you can go to Adobe Firefly's website and you can generate these images on there too. And you can actually even edit them now on Adobe Firefly's website. So you don't even have to do this necessarily inside of Photoshop, which is pretty cool. Like, you can do it all inside the browser. So just a thought, maybe try it out and see what you create. I think it's really neat. I've been creating all my images for onlinecommunityhub.com using this tool, and it's just been really fun to see, like, to be able to create a consistent look that I can use for writing is really neat. Like, to use like certain imagery that I think stays cohesive is really nice. So yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in to this random Facebook Live that you did not expect nor sign up for. I appreciate it. And in other words, I will talk to you later.